disproportionately in smaller, more tertiary markets, and that's a lot of what's driving the bifurcation in the markets is the availability of debt capital. So as many smaller institutions just don't have the capacity to lend today, you're seeing, it's impacting transaction activity in more tertiary markets, and as we'll talk about later, potentially creating opportunity in those markets for lenders willing to enter those markets. So in terms of modification and extension activity, we have seen a shift over time. This chart is looking at the CMBS sector, and you can see that, 2009, the first half of 2010, the vast majority of modification activity was simply an IO term extension or a maturity extension. As many cases just looking to push the issue off to the future and deal with it in a better environment. And for the most part, as I discussed earlier, that was potentially a successful strategy. Execution today does tend to be better. If you look at the CMBS universe, it varies a great deal by vintage as well. So we talked earlier about 50% of CMBS loans getting takeout proceeds over the last 2.5 years. 2006 and 2007 vintages, that's only been about 20%. So there's a huge differentiation by vintage. There is over $70 billion worth of 06, 07 vintage loans coming due from now to the end of 2012 and just CMBS alone. So we expect, elevated level of modification, extension, and liquidation activity to continue. But what this shows is really more recently we've seen a significant increase in terms of principal and rate reductions in modifications. We've also seen a significant